Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to transform your passion into your career. So you're trying to look like this. I'm talking suit and tie, cash money, getting all the bread, but you're actually looking a little more like this. Broke, starving artist, nothing but a crumb. Let's change that. Today I'm going to tell you all my secrets on how you can start collecting a check as an artist and quit that minimum wage job. So, while it's super important to flex our artist muscles and improve and create new things, it is also really important to put on our business pants and make that art work for us. I am tired of hearing how hard it is to make it as an artist. There are so many opportunities out there just waiting for you, so today I'm going to give you some insights about the starting point and some long-term goals to set you up for success. How many times have you been asked the question, can you draw me? Now, as an artist, this question is both flattering and frustrating, but it is actually a great way to make a little coin. Commissions. Since you're making art at the request of other people, this may not be the most fulfilling art to make, but it is very easy to manage. You can go at your own pace, and it's pretty profitable. I would say when you start out with commissions, you fall under two different audiences. You have some people that want realistic renderings, portraits, pet portraits, house drawings, and then you have people that know you for your signature style and are willing to pay you for it. If you are just starting out and don't really have a signature style yet, you're probably going to fall under audience number one, which is probably in the beginning going to be friends, family, or followers if you're running a social media account. I have done lots of commissions like these: family portraits, individual portraits, pet portraits, house portraits, landscapes. Literally the list goes on and on and on, and it's a quick way to make money if you can get them to pay you, which is not always easy. Some people think you want to just draw them for free, but as we know, that's not right. So here's how to ask for money the right way. I think the most common scenario that has happened to me is somebody approaches with a drawing request and I am left to tell them a rate and how long it will take to do it. Now, when this person is a friend or a family member, it is very difficult to drop a high rate, even if it is the value for your skill level. And when you're first starting out, I know coming up with a rate is super intimidating. I've been there. I think everybody's been there. So I want to give you guys the most basic formula in the art community for starting out with commissions. Now, that formula is simply number of hours plus your cost of materials. Now, let me be very clear. If we wanted a minimum wage job, we would get a job at Wendy's. We are trying to get paid for our skill, our talent, something we worked for. We should be getting paid more than minimum wage, okay? So the first thing you have to do is identify how many hours you think that this piece is going to take you. If you spend 10 hours on a piece and only charge $50 for it, you're making $5 an hour. I know you're out there. I know you've done this. I've done this. Stop. Please set your hourly at something like $20 or $18. Make sure you're getting paid at least above minimum wage, or else why the heck are you even doing this? Just go get a job. Now, once you have a couple of these commissions under your belt, it is great to start doing some promo outside of your immediate circle. So you're done haggling with friends and family. You don't want to leech off of your family anymore. How do you get out of there? All right, so if you're a high schooler, let me tell you, get on the Facebook mom pages as soon as you can. I don't know about you guys, but my town has this crazy Facebook page where everybody posts all the time and people are constantly plugging their stuff. And I tell you, if I went on there and I was like, hey, I do commissioned pet portraits and family portraits and house portraits, the number of moms that would have slid into my DMs is crazy. Moms love this stuff. So set up a couple posts, get your name out there, set up a very formulaic rate. That way you can keep it consistent. The math is easy, it makes sense, and just start raking in the dough. Huge tip, make sure you agree on the cost before you start. Do not begin working on anything until you have an agreed rate. You could even ask for a small percentage of that rate in advance. Sometimes getting paid in advance a little bit, make sure, you know, if the person backs out at the end, and you spend all this time on this piece, you're not completely losing out. I don't know. Now let's talk about marketing to all of our high school peers that desperately want us to draw them, but they say, I can give you 25 bucks. You say, I can't do it for 25 bucks. Well, let me tell you, you can do it for 25 bucks. However, you have to work within that budget. So for such a small price, do not spend more than an hour on this drawing. Quick sketch, do your thing. I know sometimes we're perfectionists and we want everything to look amazing, 100% our best work, but to the average person, they really can't tell the difference and be very satisfied with the drawing you could give them for a low rate. Now, if we're talking audience number 2, we're talking they love your signature style. They want a commission from you. Whatever you want to make, your style, your thing, your passion, they just want to have a piece of it. They just love it. They admire it so much. That is a whole different ball game. Then you have to really talk about, okay, how valuable am I? What is my work worth? I say general rule, highball it. And if they want to come back and say, hey, I can only do this, and be like, sick. That's still more than I thought I would get. All right, now let's say you pocketed your cash. You've been doing commissions, it's working out for you, you got a couple hundo in the bank, but now you want to move past that. You're tired of being a photocopier and you want to produce your own work, your own style, and profit off of that. Here is the place to start. So you want to sell original work, but you do not have the time to manage a store. There are tons of third-party services that will take your art and print it on just about anything and hand you a cut. There's Redbubble, Society6, INPRNT. They're all a little bit different, but they all do similar things. So yeah, you just kind of want to decide what platform you want to do and then just go all in. It's great, it's easy. All you have to do is upload your work and they will take care of absolutely everything. Shipping, paying you, it makes it really easy. It's all hands off, and if there's ever an issue, they go through the platform and not you. I know for some artists, these programs are so great that they still use them to this day. Loish is a great example, has been on INPRNT for years, and it seems to really work for her. It really just takes a lot off of your plate because managing a store by yourself can be very difficult if you're not doing art full time. But let's say you're tired of having third-party programs profit off of your work and you're ready to start your own brand. Let's get into that. That's where I'm at right now, so I have plenty to say. I'll start by saying this, managing an online store is no joke. It is a lot of work. So if you're not doing art full time, this is going to be very tricky. Don't overwhelm yourself, but if you're ready to make this switch to full time, this is a great place for you to start. I see a lot of artists and illustrators using Etsy as their shop platform, which I think, again, is a great starting point. But eventually, I see every single artist that started on Etsy move over to their own site. So I would just say skip the baby step and go full send and just open your online store. I think you guys already know what I'm about to say right now, but I have been using Squarespace for a year and almost a half now for my online store, and I'm thankful that they're actually sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform for a custom-built, beautiful, sexy website. They host not only my online store, but my entire portfolio and allowed me to build a brand and online presence. If you're interested in selling your prints, zines, stickers, keychains, earrings, clay pots, literally any art form does outstanding on a Squarespace site. The custom branding is immaculate. I love my store. It is so easy to use, so easy to update and keep fresh with all of my new work and all of my new products. A lot of the artists that I admire in this community are also on Squarespace, like Furry Little Peach, Sean. I love you. I love her store. It is beautiful. So if you're eager to take the leap, make an online store, and make art your full-time job, I highly recommend Squarespace. You can't go wrong. Go to squarespace.com to start your free trial today, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Sorgy and you will get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Hop on that deal, it's a good one. Thank you, Squarespace. All right, back to the video. But what else comes with running an online store all by yourself? A lot of stuff. For me, there were a lot of upfront business expenses that went into this. I invested into a high quality fine art printer, a label printer, labels, packaging supplies, paper, ink, not to mention making the art that you want to sell prints of, or zines of, or stickers of. There's a lot of components here. And then we haven't even gotten to the marketing and the ads and the branding. Oh my God, it's a lot. That is what I was saying earlier. It does take a little bit to get to this spot. This for me was a goal to get here. I started selling stuff on Society6 as like an 8th grader, I think. I've been doing commissions also since like early high school. So it's taken a lot of build up to make enough money to make these investments and to be where I am today. It's not easy. I'm not trying to say it's easy. It is a grind, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love what I'm doing and it is such a fulfilling experience. Overarching message is that this takes time, a lot of time. But if you don't start today, what are you doing? Come on. The last topic that I want to touch on that I think is actually the most important right now, just because we're living in a digital society. We live in a society. In this society, artists are not really noticed. All right? You need to make yourself known. I think it's intimidating for a lot of artists to conceptualize the idea of doing art full time, but also managing an online presence on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever the platform they choose. Because again, like I said, it's already difficult just running an online store, and then you're making art, and then you're making content. So before you do anything, before you do a commission, before you upload to Redbubble, before you launch an online store, start building a digital presence. I started an art Instagram account in 6th grade. I posted Disney drawings. I'm talking Lilo and Stitch, Dumbo. I'm talking the ugly crap that you guys saw in my middle school sketchbooks tour. Like ugly, okay? Ugly stuff. But as I was posting all these ugly drawings, I was learning how to sell myself. I was learning how to take pictures of my art and show it and describe my process. I was learning how to grow a following and make connections in this community. And if I didn't start in 6th grade, if I started last year, I wouldn't have been able to take this gap year and do this full time. I wouldn't have had the buildup or the experience to accomplish my goals the way I'm doing now. So even if you're working a full-time job, even if art is something you can only do for 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day, start an Instagram account, start posting your work, reach out to artists, like their posts, comment, make connections. TikTok too, right now is an insane platform for growth. But the reason for me saying all of this is because right now a following is going to give you a backbone for every other project that you do. Whether it's getting orders on your online store, or you want to launch a book, or you want people to come see your solo show. If you don't have a following, who's going to hear you? Who's going to hear your voice? Who's going to know that you exist and that your art exists? If I didn't have YouTube, if I wasn't on TikTok, Instagram, I would have 0 orders on my online store. I could work so hard on my products. But if nobody had ever seen my work before or knew me, why would you ever buy it? That personal connection is going to make or break your career if you're trying to do what I'm doing. In my opinion, you know, there are other ways to do things, okay? You can be a full-time artist and be a gallery artist and never have to worry about your online presence, or you can be an illustrator and just do children's book illustrations and magazine illustrations and never have to touch a YouTube channel. But if you're my age and you're trying to break out, this is the best way you can do it, because people aren't just gonna hand you something. You're gonna have to work for it. And this is the best way to show people that you're capable and that you're a go-getter and that you can do this shit. Okay, so the last and final topic that I want to touch on has to do with building a following on social media, but that is the world of YouTube, all right? It is a great place. I like being here. Hopefully you guys like being here too. I think that you should start a channel. Here's why. From YouTube alone, you could have 2 streams of income and a platform for all your marketing needs. I think a huge misconception is that you need to have a massive following to get some sponsors on your videos, which is totally not the case. There are plenty of smaller creators in this community right now who are getting deals from Skillshare, Squarespace. There are plenty of art-related sponsors that are eager to work with you. Also, if we're talking about building a resume, being able to say that you can film, edit, produce, and market a video, those are a lot of great skills to have, especially in the age of technology and social media. So everything that I've said today, everything that you could potentially do to make some money as an artist are only going to help you in the future. These skills are super desirable these days and will only take you further in life. Don't doubt yourself, don't doubt this career path, because it can work for you if you're willing to put in the work. And yeah, it's hard, all right? It's not easy. My videos, if you watch old videos, are so bad, they're trash. But it's a starting point. Everything's a starting point. So yes, these are all of my tips for you today. I feel like I touched on everything I wanted to, from a starting point to future goals to build up to, or just the inspiration and the kick you needed to, that was a punch, to tell you that you can do this. And this is a career if you want it. But the point I'm trying to make is that the earlier you start, the better. So if this is something you've been thinking about for a while, this is a career that you want, but you're not maybe financially ready for it yet, or just don't have the resources to get you there yet, a lot of those opportunities are free. Instagram is free. Starting a TikTok account is free. If you're able to make some time in your schedule to just start building an online presence and start slow, I think you'll end up in a really great place if you put the time in and the love in. I believe in all of you guys. You can make this work. I'm not saying it's easy, but there are so many creators on this platform doing what I'm doing that have amazing success stories. I'll link them in my description so you guys can check them out as well for inspiration, because they're what keeps me going. I'm sure you guys have found a lot of funny ways to make money as an artist. I would love to hear them if you drop a comment down below. I think it could also maybe be helpful for other people, and I'm genuinely interested because I've also worked some odd jobs in the art world that are less than desirable. So I really hope that you found this helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will try my best to reply to as many as I can. Obviously, sometimes it gets crazy and I can't, but there will also be a lot of information in the description if you want it. But yes, thank you again, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video, and go get that bag.